Hi boys and girls, I'm back. Today we're going to be talking about comparing fractions. And it's just as simple as I want you guys to remember how we compare numbers. We have greater than, less than, or equal to. So a really fast reminder, remember the alligator, he's always so hungry. And what he always wants to do is eat the what? Which number? The bigger number or the smaller number? He wants to eat the bigger number. So his mouth is open to the bigger number, okay? And his tail is shaking at the smaller number and saying, "You're too small. I don't want to eat you." Okay? So I want you to think about that, just like we do with whole, regular numbers, but we're going to do it with fractions this time, okay? So anyhow, all right, so comparing fractions. If both your denominators, remember denominators are the numbers down, D for denominators. If both your denominators are the same, okay? We have denominator 4, denominator 4. The alligator eats the greater numerator, okay? So we go to the numerator. Is 1 or 3 greater? Hope you guys know that. 3 is definitely greater than 1. So 1/4 is less than 3/4. And that's if the denominator stays the same. You will look at the numerator, okay? If both your numerators, so now we're at the top, north, numerators, remember the top number, are the same, then you're gonna look down here at the denominator this time, okay? So here we have a 3 and a 3, both as numerators. So we're gonna look at the denominator, and we have 3/4. So we have 4 as our denominator, and 3/8. 8 is our denominator there. So in this case, we're going to look at what is smaller. So the alligator eats the smaller denominator in this case, okay? So don't let that trick you. So which number is smaller? The 4 or the 8? Definitely the 4, okay? So that's kind of tricky. So you just have to remember that if both of your numerators are the same, the alligator eats the smaller denominator, so opposite of what we would normally do because we're dealing with fractions, okay? So 3/4 is actually greater than 3/8. So he's eating the larger fraction, and his tail is pointing to the smaller fraction, okay? And then I just did this down here for you guys, just to show you in more of a fraction form. If we have, here I have made 2 circles, and I partitioned them into, this one I partitioned into thirds, this one I partitioned into fourths, okay? So here, my part shaded was 1, was my numerator. How many whole pieces do I have in all? 3 was my denominator. So I have 1/3, and here I have 1 part shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. So I have 1/3 and 1/4. Okay, so looking at this, we have the same numerator, right? Remember what we said. So we have the same numerator, 1 and 1. However, we have 2 different denominators, okay? So we have 1/3 and 1/4. So in this case, 1/3 is actually greater than 1/4. If you look at these pieces, do you see how 1/3, because you're dividing, say it's a pie, you're dividing it into 3 equal parts, you're going to have a larger slice, okay? Whereas if you had a pie and you divided it into, or partitioned it into 4 equal parts, you're putting it into more pieces, so each piece is going to be smaller. So your 1/4 is actually going to be smaller because your piece is smaller than that. So this says 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Okay, over here, we have the numerators are different and the denominators are the same. So in this case, what we're going to do is the alligator wants to eat the greater numerator, okay? Because we both have 4s from the denominator. So we have a 1 and a 3. Which one has the greater numerator? 1 or 3? Which one's larger? You got it, 3, okay? So we're gonna say that 1/4, this is 1 part shaded out of 4 equal pieces, 1/4 is less than 3/4 because there's 1, 2, 3 pieces shaded out of 4, okay? And again, if you look at it, here we have 1 part shaded. So that is definitely going to be smaller than three parts or 3 pieces, okay? So I just wanted to kind of go over that with you guys. I will talk to you soon.